So first of all, to say welcome to everyone. And how far around the world are we today? Well, we have Canada and America and Europe. And I don't know, do we go further east than Greece? I'm not sure if we do, because it is, once we go further east than that, it does get very difficult because it's late at night. But anyway, we still really embrace the whole world. So thank you everybody for putting this time aside, bringing your energy, bringing your presence, and sharing, being part of this sharing together. So from my experiences this week, I felt that it was important to actually share what I'd experienced, and for this first part to actually also be open to your comments before we actually do the meditation, because I think this information is very important. And then we can have more discussion in the Q&A part if we need to. So it's amazing. Well, it's more than amazing, it's beyond belief, and sometimes it feels devastating, the extent to which we feel or seem to have moved into a time on this earth of a split. And that was the energy of the 20th of December, the solstice of 2020. And I never expected to experience it as a split. And the split seems to be down the line of those that have received and those that haven't. And something that I think nobody, even the creators, expected at all, was a phenomenon that seems to be true, that there is an adverse effect, a challenging effect, I don't know what other words to use, of those that have been vaccinated having an effect on those that have not. And you know, it's one of these things that is absolutely open to experience and perception, and there seems to be evidence that this is occurring. So I just wanted to share my experiences and ask anyone if they had experienced anything, so we could actually get a cross-section of and our own take and perspective on what might be happening. My experience is that if I go into a supermarket or I'm with a friend, and I won't keep saying the V word because, you know, when this goes on the website, if I say that too often, it could get flagged up and taken down. I don't want that to happen, but you know what I'm talking about. So my experience is, if I go around a supermarket or if I'm with a friend, then two things happen. They may both happen, or it might be one or the other. And one is a kind of headache in my crown chakra, and the other is a feeling of ungroundedness and dizziness. I went to, I have a friend, and I shared a lot of information with her, but she chose to go ahead, and it seems that she has actually really is in a very challenging mental state. And what I perceive may have happened is that, you see, when one loses one's connection to your soul self, higher self, wise self, then we don't have that resource. Now, we might have the idea that connection to soul self, connection to higher self, that's something very spiritual, and you know, you have attunements for that. It's actually normal. Everybody has it to some extent. And when that is lost, then there is nothing to have. There's no part of consciousness that has a sensible, common sense filter on this subconscious. So this is when people become neurotic and worry, hear voices and go, I've been letting you down. I didn't do that. And I've heard this voice in my head that told me I need to apologize to you because I didn't do this and I didn't do that, because there's no higher wisdom that is coming in and rationalizing or understanding the bigger picture, understanding that this is just one perception and needn't be true. And that filter, that ability to have, all I can say is a common sense, more rational, sensible, workable perception on feelings and emotions seems to disappear. So she was obviously, you know, she rang me up and told me all of this, and I went over to see her, and she was, you know, very happy to have a hug and for me to sit with her, etc. And as soon as I was in her company, I had this kind of ache, and it's kind of on the top of my head, but not quite. I experienced that again today, and a little bit in the supermarket, and depending on where I went, and somebody passed me and it'd come and then it'd go again. I had an experience of being on a Zoom call with a very old friend that Kevin and I used to work with, and we would discuss spiritual things with her. We discussed a lot of Merkaba philosophy with this person. So I had a spiritual connection with her. My experience was that she was just totally vampiric on my soul energy. And I actually felt extremely nervous before talking to her on Zoom. You know, I thought, what's, you know, this is ridiculous. What's this about? And then just very jittery when we were talking. So want to find out if anyone here has got other or similar experiences, and then talk about what to do about it. You know, there are techniques that absolutely do work, and sometimes I've prepared myself and it's been okay. Other times, like this friend calling me on Zoom, never expected it. You know, so, you know, so I didn't do any particular preparation. So just like to ask if anyone has, you know, something an experience to bring here so that we can get a cross section. Steph, I want to call you Stephanie, but you've just got Steph up there.
No, Stephanie's lovely. Really, okay. Call me Stephanie. I love it.
That's what I want to call you, Stephanie.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. Not many people call me Stephanie. They call me Steph.
Oh, no,
so I love hearing my name.
No, you want to stop that now. You be a Steph.
Thank you. Christine, it's really odd what you've just said about being dizzy, because I have not connected that at all. But for the past few weeks, I've been going very dizzy. And there's been no... I can't think of a reason why it would have been happening, but very, very dizzy, like you said. One of the things that has happened is I work with Yushui Reiki as well as angelic, and sometimes I'll send Yushui because it's a lot quicker. Okay.
You must tell me why you think it's quicker, because it doesn't need to be. Anyway, never mind. That's not the subject. Go on.
Okay. So what I found is, I've not been using it often. Well, quite often people will request that as well because they're familiar with your shuing. But what I found a couple of times is I've sent Reiki, and what's happened is when we make so you break your cords at the end, so you break your connection at the end so that you've just sent it and it's gone. But literally, it's been like the other person on the other end has been like a hoover and wanting to suck my energy. And that is literally what it's felt like. And it's been like they've just, like you said, the vamping, literally wanting to suck the energy from me. And that was a really strange experience, you know, really unusual experience. But I knew what was happening. So I was fully aware that that was happening. This other person, it's happened with two people, but one of them is a doctor. He's a GP, and he was ill once. So he kind of is on the border with believing in Reiki. So he's kind. Oh, sorry, I'm in Lucy, my daughter's university accommodation this evening. The light keeps going off. So he's on the border with Reiki. So I'd said I'd send him some Reiki, but he was the one that was really sucking the energy from me. And that really shocked me. But not so much with my crown chakra, but what I've noticed is my third eye is alerting me all the time. It's like it's opening up. It's like I'm getting warnings constantly to be more observant and to be more aware of things.
Thank you. Right. Yes. Thank you for that contribution. Go on to Rhea, please. What's your, if you could share your experience.
Yeah, mine, I mean, before I leave my house every day, I surround myself in 100% pure crystal shell that transmutes negativity into positivity. So I haven't had that experience outside when I'm walking about, but obviously had the text messages. One came from Tommy's, and it's actually in the messaging as well that there's an energy that seems to be there, because I wasn't prepared for it. So I've opened it, closed it, and then literally it just felt like this nervousness, this energy and everything like that. So I deleted the message and sort of like cleansed myself, did some angelic Reiki. And then next time I got a text message, because I kept getting hounded for it, I was sort of like, I'd sort of like realised about my phone. And then someone had posted on, I just opened my computer and somebody had posted on there, and they put a badge that says I've had my injection. And literally, again, I hadn't thought about putting anything around my computer. Literally, as soon as that badge appeared on the computer, again, it was like that, oh my God type, you know, really negative, panicky, oh my God, and, you know, situation energy. So it's not just people itself, it's also the messages that are coming out as well. So, you know, I've sort of like really, my house is normally protected anyway, but all my computer stuff has now got 100% pure crystal shell around it. And I definitely make sure I'm doing that literally before I leave my house every day.
Thank you. Thank you. Jane Lee, have you had an experience?
Well, what I'd like to ask people is this. I've been told many times now that women are having very heavy menstrual cycles and bleeding. And at the moment, I'm not quite sure why this is. Whether it's the energies of the earth ascending itself and just cleansing people out, or if it's got anything to do with the V word, or both. So I just wondered if this was something that other people have been aware of, because this information keeps coming to me.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, you heard this too. Yeah.
Oh, yes, there's quite a lot of reports. Yeah. And of actually having kind of abdominal menstrual pains within a certain distance, and then going out further away from someone and it just disappearing and coming back into that, and you know, and feeling it. Hyacinthus, have you got an experience to share, please?
Yes, hi everyone again. So first of all, I'll find the phenomenon of how I look on your screen very interesting. It because I can see myself being in this shadow, and it's very interesting on how I really experience the topic and what is my response to these topics. I find myself playing a little bit up with the system. Like if the system wants to...
Can I sorry, Hyacinth,
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I would like to focus very much on the specific question, please, because we haven't much time. Have you experienced, when in contact with someone, a physical response?
Oh, sorry, a physical response on myself?
Yes.
No, I have not got any physical response on myself.
Okay, so may I move on, please, because that's what I want to.
No, but may I say that because I'm a massage therapist, okay, then I understand that the energy of the therapy just only stops in the physical and it doesn't go any further. However, I don't hold any agenda and I have to respect that.
Yeah, thank you. Isabel, have you had an experience?
I was sending Reiki yesterday, and this head thing that you said, I had a terrible headache at the back of my head, and it was moving across the head, and then I threw up. But I'm very new to this Reiki experiences, so I also had menstruation. Someone said menstruation, so I don't know. But I have also been feeling a lot in the energy with people, but it's been like cleansing out old stuff, dealing with, I think, karmic stuff in the family and stuff like that. So I'm, and then I don't know what this V word.
So just to reiterate my question, and I'd be very grateful if we can just really focus on that. Isabel, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. So just to reiterate my question, and my invitation is for you to, if you feel that you've had a physical response to being within the energy field of someone, then yes, I'd be very grateful for your feedback. Dina.
I think I had the same the headache. I was in a meeting and there was someone who had it, and then afterwards I had this headache here. It's the same place, and it lasts for a day almost. And also I don't know if it's related or not, but I also I slept a lot. Like I slept almost for maybe 40, like all day long. So I was out of energy, and I got also nervous. So this happened to me because I wasn't ready. You know, you feel like you want to leave the place. I don't know if this is psychologically or also the energy around me was a little bit, I felt a bit disrupted, you know, like so and then I also had dreams, like disturbing dreams, because I meet a lot of friends and that had it already, so I'm not prepared, you know. I go and meet a friend and then I just realized that they just got it, you know. So but the most obvious thing is the headache, and it's not a normal headache. It's like something on the top of my head, you know, like So I really don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your contribution. So, I mean, this is something that there's, no absolute evidence for, and it is simply my, our experiences. So if you feel that, and there is a lot of reporting on various YouTubes, various podcasts, etc., of the response, and it's a response in the DNA which creates something, and I'm not a biologist, which creates something called a spike protein, and this spike protein creates what they're calling shedding, and it's an energy that is well, it's not just an energy, it's something that is given off that is affecting other people. And I have heard reports, like Jane Lee said, of it's been reported in America, no proof of it, just that it's been reported, of a woman 8 months pregnant actually aborting the child, because it has an effect on the venous system. And I can't say any more, and I don't think there's any real detailed medical research on this. There isn't, but people that I respect, I do said in have been validated, very sensible, and this is the kind of thing they're saying. So I don't have any reason to immediately disbelieve them, although it isn't. I don't think it's been kind of scientifically proved, etc. So Stephanie, have you still got your hand up, or you've returned your hand?
I just wanted to mention something. So I teach children, I work in school, but 3 people in my department have experienced extreme dizziness, and it's an ongoing thing. So they've got vertigo. One person, they've said, oh, it's just a coincidence, and she's had this for about 6 or 7 weeks. Another person has got vertigo and constant headaches. One lady has got the vertigo, she's got tinnitus, and she's also got a viral infection in I think it's the carotid artery, which is between the ear and the brain. But it's interesting that the dizziness is one of the symptoms that seems to be quite prevalent.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I just thought I'd share that,
Yeah, thank you. So the experiences that I have had have been because I didn't protect myself as much as was needed. And what I actually found was that walking around the supermarket, when I realized that I needed to do more protection, I actually found it, I didn't find it easy within that environment to actually invoke the protection that I needed. To keep reinforcing it and reinforcing it. So I'm very happy to share with you some ideas about how to protect yourself and deal with this energy. It may be that you've already got your own personal practice that is that is absolutely effective, and you don't need anything else. But for those of you who haven't got that, then I'd like to just offer this. And the information that I'm going to share is not something I've come up with. It's actually from a woman called Magenta Pixie, and she channels a group called The Nine, and she's got a lot of videos on YouTube talking about this kind of thing. And so that she doesn't get taken down, there is is called Maxine. They're all women's names. So that is the way she gets away with talking about this without saying the other word. Black is the color associated with the archangel Zafkiel, and it's on the female pillar of the Tree of Life. It's at the back of the Master Teacher manuals, and if you're not actually a Master Teacher, then you'll find it on the internet. You know, a diagram, a picture. Just go to Google Images, the Tree of Life, and you'll find lots of information, lots of images and pictures. And it is the third manifestation. So the principal manifestation right at the top of the Tree of Life, the first process into form from the divine, is the Archangel Metatron. The next is the Archangel Ratziel, then it is the Archangel Zafkiel, and that is the first on the female pillar. And the color for that angel is black. Black is not a death color. It's been used, it's been, you know, co-opted for all sorts of reasons and etc. It's the color of the womb. It's not evil, it's not dark. It's something that it actually transmutes the dark. So to visualize a black flame, discovered, like a couple of us have said, that there's a feeling of energy being taken. So if someone is separated from their soul self, and the variation in experience is you know, massive across the board, of how this is affecting people. Some people are being quite disturbed, and others you would hardly notice. But you know, and you know, I can't give any rationale to that, but it must be there to some extent for everyone. So then if you are connected to your soul, this is what this vampiric draw on one's energy is all about. So if we had to extend our energy, you know, like we often do, just send love, embrace people, you know, that kind of inclusiveness, then that will cause just more energy to be pulled in. The black flame transmutes. It can't be sucked. So it isn't a giving, it's a strong holding in place. And just visualize that. For me, it has flecks of magenta and rose in it as well. So it's very much got heart energy. And then I also wear black. I've got a bracelet here, which is black. No, it's not obsidian. Can't remember anyway. So black crystals is also a very good protection. Also, if you remember in the attunements, we say visualize a golden line of light from the right hand to the soul star, to the left hand and back down again, okay? Have that as a three, so have one coming forwards as well. So you're actually in a diamond. The most ideal one, which is more difficult for me to describe here on a Zoom without pictures, etc., is to see oneself in the star tetrahedron. The star tetrahedron is a three-dimensional Star of David. So it's what it actually is. It's from the soul star, and it's a three-sided pyramid that comes down, and then from the to level with one's knees, and then there's a three-sided pyramid that comes up from the Earth star up to this level, and they cross over, as it were. Just the top pyramid comes down to the knees, the bottom pyramid comes up to here. So again, if you search this on the internet and visualize yourself in it, that represents the Trinity the three principles of creation, of divine creation, being imbued and being held within 3D reality. It is the purpose of your incarnation. It is the principle of incarnation, of bringing of our bringing of the divine into this, being held in this physical body. So that is a very strong visualization to keep the integrity of your own energy system. So just to give you that, and I recommend that whether you feel anything or not, that if you're going into a crowded place, that you create an energetic integrity. I don't like the protection. I don't like the word protection, because it's like a defense system, and it's them and us and they're dangerous and all the rest of it. So it's more about keeping one's integrity, energetic integrity. Does that bring up any quick questions by anybody? Isabel, you have a quick question? Okay.
I have very interesting. And you said the Archangel Zadkiel, and you said black on the womb, and you said the tree of life. And yesterday I work a lot with crystals, but I work very intuitively, like with, and I put a black, I wanted to show you, I have a Venus figure here, and I put a black thing on her womb.
Okay, interesting. Yes.
And this is the tree of life here next to her.
Okay. Yes.
So I thought that was really funny what you said. I really could relate to. And also I relate this with the integrity. It's been about that in my surrounding. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. But just to add that when I talk about the tree of life, I mean the Kabbalistic tree of life. Yes, not a crystal tree. Okay.
Christine.
Who's that?
Sorry, Carleen, sorry to interrupt. I just have a quick question. Can you see me?
No.
Carleen.
Oh, right. Yes. I still can't see you, but never mind. Go on. Oh, yes, you're there. Yes.
I'm here. Thank you so much for sharing that. What I'm unsure of, I was revisiting some Zoom training. I had an uncomfortable feeling on my head, which then affected my eyes. I started to feel dizzy, and I wasn't able to continue with the training. I had to tell the trainer that I have to come off. And obviously when I came off, I started to feel better. And then on another occasion, I was with two friends, and we meet maybe every week or every other week. What I noticed, Christine, was 3 separate occasions I'd had what appeared to be a psychic attack.
Okay.
So my higher self told me not to go back and sit with them, maybe walk with them, but not go and sit where we're trying to do meditations together. Just something told me not to do it again. And I've since broken my foot anyway, so I've not been doing it. I just think what you're saying can't be a coincidence.
Okay. Right. That's interesting. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, so I don't really want to take up any more time, because it's really late for some people. It's not fair. So thank you for the information that you've shared, and I trust that that you might notice something. It might fit with an experience you hadn't really realized where it was coming from, and it as it is influencing DNA, although my experience is that it seems to be more intense if I'm in physical proximity. Actually, DNA is a quantum field, and it doesn't matter how far one is away from, really, it shouldn't matter. So I don't know why so it might be everybody's experiencing it on some kind of subtle level. The challenge, though, is, yes, whatever you feel, then then we're not about suppressing feelings, whether you feel, some people I know are feeling angry, resentful, etc. So it's not about suppressing feelings, but it's about meeting them and then asking, okay, where are you actually coming from? And then moving beyond that to find a space of compassion and love. And although I'm not, although I'm not particularly kind of religion, there are a lot of very useful sayings that are in the Bible. And I think the one that is very appropriate at the moment is to forgive them, because they don't know what they've done. And they really, really don't. They don't know that they have acquiesced. They have, in the archetypes, we've just been doing the prostitute archetype, and that's where we do something against our own higher good. And everybody's prostituted themselves, and on behalf of humanity. And we don't know, and we don't understand. It doesn't make sense. And that is where our human minds are. And always to remember and remind ourselves that there probably is, as there is always, a bigger picture that we haven't got, we can't see, and we don't know. And all we can do is have compassion. Okay. So I hope that is helpful to you, and you'll be able to find some support and clarity with it. And I hope it is helpful to all of those people that can't come at this time, but look at these videos when they're posted in the next week. There's a lot of people that, a lot of the family that do come and look at them on the website or on YouTube. Okay, so that was hopefully a gift to a number of people, which is nice to do. So thank you, and if you can just prepare yourself while we just go into the next phase, prepare yourself to do the healing meditation.